Our beloved pencils. Whether they're short or long, have erasers or not, we need them every day in the art room. So we're going to go over a few ways to use your pencils. I know sometimes using our short little pencils isn't as cool as using the big ones with the good erasers, but this helps us if we're having a little problem on our grip, having a smaller pencil. So it's very important. Having a pencil with not necessarily completely sharpened, but a good point on it is as important as well. And we're going to show you some tricks of using your pencils so this eraser guy isn't used so much. When we use our pencil, we're used to using it straight up and down for writing. And we're used to pressing kind of hard to make it dark in order to see it. But in art, there's a few other things that we want to do with the pencil as well. So a couple things to consider. Our paper is really soft. So when we press into it really, really hard, it actually creates ridges in the paper. So if you were to look at that paper from the side, you would actually see that it indented the page. The problem with this is when you press that hard, when I go to erase it, the eraser isn't getting into that indentation into the paper. So I can't erase as easily, and I will continue to see that mark. If we're pressing really hard, it goes through the back too, so we can't even turn over our paper to restart. So the first thing we want to practice with a pencil is just getting really light lines, so you can barely even see those on camera. Really light lines that don't indent the paper. They float on top of the paper. So that's going to help us when we are drawing and we're overlapping shapes in order to build something that is three-dimensional, because we know we're not going to eventually see all of those lines. The next thing we want to do is to learn how to control lights and darks. This is a more advanced pencil feature, but when we learn about our 7 elements, one we learn about is value and form. Value is going from light to dark, and when we apply light to dark on a page, it can give a 2D shape a 3D form. So to do this, we start by using kind of the side of our pencil, and we color really, really lightly, and then increase our pressure, and increase our pressure, and increase our pressure. Okay, now we want to see this, so it goes from light gray to as dark as we can get it, and we could probably even go a little lighter than this. I'm currently using a number 2 pencil, which is your standard pencil. There are kits that show you a full range of pencils. So if you've heard of pencils called HB, 2B, there's 4B, that's the softness of the lead. So HB kind of has a harder lead than a 2B, so it doesn't allow you to get quite as dark. So a full pencil set allows you to get the range. We also want to work on having this really smooth, because when we create value, we don't want it to be chopped up. So let's practice that a couple times, going from really light. And when you overlap, see how I'm going back into my space? And I'm using the side of my pencil. That allows me to get this a little smoother without indenting the page. And I could even come in, especially in these darker areas, and go the other direction to get it darker. Now, pencil is made out of graphite, which means it moves and smears. So as you get into these dark shades, that's when we start getting it on the sides of our hands. But we can also work on blending with just using a tissue and going in a circular motion. And we can smooth that together so that we get it a little bit more blended. So practice doing that, getting control of your lights to dark using just a 2B pencil. Practice drawing lines really lightly, so it's kind of a hidden secret, so we're able to erase better.